Welcome to the D.U.M.B podcast. We are dudes using minimal brains. You've come to the right place. We're here to talk about everything and anything, but definitely dumb stuff. This is the D.U.M.B podcast.
We're not in any way affiliated with actual smart dudes. This podcast may actually lead to dumbness.
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. Welcome to the D.U.M.B podcast. We're going into season 2. We are officially starting season 2, episode 1. Episode 1. So yeah, we've kind of had a long break. We all had shit going on and
too much stuff.
And it's been too long and too much shit happening. And but now we're back, so we're gonna go ahead and get started with season 2. Excited to do that. We're going to have the video, so hopefully if you're listening to this, you might be able to watch it too. I don't know. Is that on me? I can't tell.
It is on you.
I need like a giant
just like
monitor.
I want to be.
I'd like a giant monitor so that I can like just see myself at all times.
I've got a giant
I do not want that.
So as you know, of course, I'm Larry. We got my man Jim.
Barrett.
And my man Barrett over there. So I'm glad to see you boys. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm happy to see you guys, man. It's been a while.
What are you drinking over there, Barrett?
I'm drinking, but we're sticking with the old standard Bullet.
We're going
bourbon.
to even
Bullet
season
bourbon.
2. Season 2, we're
Season
starting
2
out
bourbon.
not the weird shit you.
No, we'll get back into bee swine vomit bourbon tasting. But
Yeah,
this
bring
one,
that for me because I know you won't like it.
Oh, man.
I'm a cheap whore, so I'll drink it.
So what I'm learning
He
is,
just wants you to provide him.
Yeah, that's all it is.
well, I looked at all the the little bottles, right? So I could just sample one of each, and they don't put quality bourbon in little bottles. At least not anywhere I can find it. I can get Fireball or ass flavored
next time
fucking
I'm
whatever.
gonna bring one of those buckets of Fireball, them little Fireball shots.
Good luck with that. We'll watch you. I'll just use it to brush my teeth.
I'm going to bring a
minty
bucket
shit.
of Fireball.
I'm just going to bring a basket of dryer balls.
What?
Those wool ones.
I don't
you
even know what
throw
that
in
means.
there.
Oh, wait, no, we have those. I actually got those for a gift or something.
Here, put those in your mouth.
And I was like, what the fuck is this? So I tried it. I don't know. Do they work?
You're not supposed to suck on them. They dry you out.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
all fucking dry. You can't
Yeah,
fucking
I
talk.
had cotton mouth, like my wool mouth. Fucking wool mouth. Oh, my God. So, yeah, well, I'm glad to see you boys. I missed you.
I'm drinking
You're
Diet
Mountain Dew.
by the way.
I'm drinking Diet Pepsi. They won't sponsor me, so they don't get. Fuck them.
Yeah,
I'm drinking cola. Oh,
Dark
speaking of that, so
cola.
we were up in Wisconsin. My lovely wife and I, our wedding anniversary was a couple weeks ago, and we decided to take a trip up to Door County, Wisconsin, as like our gift. But we did that this past weekend, and the first night we were there, we went to this restaurant. There wasn't a whole lot of places open. It's kind of early season for them up there. So in Door County, there's only just a few places. So we went to this place, like a bar and grill type thing. And I said, can I get a Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi? I don't care, whatever. She's like, no, we have Diet RC. I was like,
whoa,
Sweet.
what?
New twist.
Well, I was shocked that they wouldn't have one or the other, Diet Pepsi or Diet. Like, I was just shocked by that. So, and I'm not picky. Like, I literally am like, whatever's cheapest. I don't give a like. I'm not like I have to have Diet Coke.
I need some Diet Brown liquid.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Just
It's funny you
bring
say
it.
that. So where is Door County? I know it's lower Wisconsin.
No,
Mid-Wisconsin?
it's up north of Green Bay. So you go through Green Bay, and then it's like a peninsula that goes
Okay,
up.
I know where you're at.
It's way up.
Because it's odd that you said
like
that
7
they're
hours
not
north
in
of
because
here.
usually winter is the season up there. Like
Yeah, not for
winter is
this.
their
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, if you're going snow skiing or shit like that, or ice
Because I was
fishing
up
and-
further north 2 weekends ago, and it is
You were further than what we were. Yeah.
missed. This is just coming out of season. But I did. I went up for the weekend, and I was going to come back Sunday, and they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to snow." And whatever, and it come in snow and rain and sleet. And
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
it was
So I
70
stayed-
here at home, and it was 28 up there on last Saturday.
yeah, I stayed. I wound up staying an extra day, but it worked out good. I was with my brother, and we like midnight Sunday night.
You kissed?
We did, and then we went out into the hot tub. He and I and his wife, and the wind's blowing across
Wow.
rolling across that lake,
Poor
all that
Marsha.
sleet, and we were sitting down just below the lip, and then like the side of our heads were frozen, like a little ice helmet. I'm sitting down in the
Well, I've
hot
been
tub.
saying you needed to be wearing a helmet for a while, so
Yeah.
maybe that's.
Most of it.
yeah. My brother-in-law's got a cabin up north in Wisconsin, Danbury. You know where that's at?
I don't.
It's probably like
It sounds
an
wonderful.
hour away from Duluth.
Oh shit, that's way up there.
Yeah, it's way up there, but it's awesome. It's
There-
on a couple lakes, and I have a video of me out there. I was on a jet ski. I wiped out. I had a GoPro on. I'll have to share that with you.
That sounds
That
like
was a
something that
Go
should
Amateur.
be on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Speaking of that, we
Amateur.
didn't even mention the Facebook page. Yeah.
You didn't mention anything.
The dude, the dumb podcast, dude using minimal brains. I haven't mentioned it. I'm out of practice. It's been too fucking long. Fuck. But anyway, no. So my wife has been asking for a while to go to a dark park, which is not like just a park where Jim's family hangs out. It's just like a regular park.
What the fuck? Anyway,
I
continue.
mean, I took my
Racist.
pants off. It gets pretty dark. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, no. So I was like, what the fuck is a dark park? I don't even know what that is. What is it? So
Yeah.
it's like there's certified spots throughout the United States that
Where all the
or
goth kids hang out.
all the way.
Doing their dancing.
It's just a bunch of goth kids with black makeup on. No, it's like where you can look at the stars, but it's certified like there's no light pollution. It's just very.
Word.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, nerd wife, whatever. We'll go. We'll do that. I'll happily go along.
You will
with
go wherever your wife tells you to fucking go.
Yeah. Well, she's hot, so. And I don't. She likes me for some reason. So
That's so weird.
Not real bright, apparently. Anyways, so we get up there, and so we go, and it's fucking cold. But so we wait for sundown, which I didn't realize. Like sundown is like 7:13 p.m., but it doesn't really get dark until like 9. Like what the hell? But I have to admit, I was like completely blown away because, I mean, I've been out in the country around here and look up at the stars, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at all the stars. It's really pretty. We don't see shit, even out in the country. So we go to this dark park, and we're on the beach. It's Newport State Park is what it's called, and it's right. We went out to the beach on Lake Michigan. It was cold as shit, but holy crap, man! Like we don't see half the fucking stars that are above us every fucking day. Like I had no idea. Like
yeah,
I
you can
looked up
see
and
the
I was
Milky
like,
Way and shit.
holy shit! Yeah, and you could see. We actually did get to see just a glimmer of Northern Lights. Like we knew that was possible. I was having trouble seeing it. Tiff saw it a lot more than I did, but like I'd catch it here and there. But she's just,
You got them old man eyes.
even her fucking vision's better than anything I can do. But anyway, so I was actually pretty fucking blown away. I'm not gonna lie. So, but then the place we stayed, it was kind of cool too. We get in there, and I'm thinking there was no cars. It was like 2 cars and us. And because again, it's early season, and the guy we're checking in, he's like, so we've had to make some changes. So initially in my head, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, what now?
And where's this at again? Wisconsin?
Yeah, in Wisconsin. It was in Sister Bay, Wisconsin, is what the town's
Like, yeah,
called.
we had to make some changes.
We had to make some changes, eh?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
Don't you know?
But he said, hey, we've been doing some remodeling, and we remodeled one of our suites, and we'd like to put you in there, upgrade you. I'm like, sounds fucking good to me.
Sweet.
So we go in, and it's really fucking nice. We had a nice view of the lake, everything. But the weird thing, I don't know if you ever stayed in one of these hotels, there's a hot tub, like, in the living room, but not like a hot tub like a hotel hot tub.
bounce like a whale.
It's a bathtub. It's an oversized bathtub,
jets and
but it
shit.
has jets. And I'm like, well, that's fucking sweet. But it's really weird to, like, fill that thing up like a tub and then turn on the jets and you're like next to the kitchen table because there's like a kitchen too. It's just really odd.
Yeah, that would be
It was
weird.
just weird, but I mean, it was
There's
cool.
a big,
It was
big
fun.
difference between logistics and aesthetics.
Right, exactly. So yeah,
doesn't look good, but logistically it's perfect.
no, it was good though. We had a super nice time, and us honestly, my wife and I, part of the fun that we have is actually the road trip itself. Like that's part of the fun, and it's about it was about 7 hours roughly to get there. I think 6.5 to 7. So drove through Green Bay and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we stopped on the way home. We stopped in Madison at this really cool Irish restaurant. It's like Aaron's Irish restaurant or something. I don't know. It was kind of
You
cool.
walk in there like, Larry, McLevin.
McLarry. Yeah, so I don't know. It was cool though. But
Don't
yeah,
you
the dark
know.
park thing, I actually was like, okay, I gotta quit calling my wife a nerd because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, when my kids were little, we had he was in the Cub Scouts, and we went out to Loud Thunder for some camping thing. But way out in the middle, out there, in the middle of all that forest and shit, they have a fucking observatory.
Yeah.
And we got to see Saturn and Jupiter.
Nice. What about
Telescope. That
Uranus?
was- you can see that anytime.
Look down here, Jim. Look over here. Look down.
That's where we say Gesundheit. God bless you. Right by
Yeah,
your
that'd be
ass.
awesome.
I like to say cheers now. That's what I say. If somebody sneezes, I'm like,
If you
cheers.
fart, though, you got to lean down by their butt and say, God bless you.
If he farts, I ain't going anywhere near his butt. No fucking way. Yeah. So that was cool. Yeah, we had a nice.
And I
little-
actually heard
little road
something.
trip.
I was watching something online, YouTube, and a guy was doing the stars who was out camping in the desert.
Yeah.
And his little tidbit of fact was where we are located in the Milky Way. When you can actually see it, you're looking down the Milky Way. You're not looking like we're not in the middle, like we're at one end of it. So it's like an entire galaxy.
I have no
And if you
fucking
can
clue.
see it, you're looking. He goes, it's amazing. And he couldn't even do it justice. He tried showing pictures. He's like, it doesn't do it justice. He was out in the middle of the desert, out in Utah somewhere.
Yeah.
No light pollution whatsoever.
Tiff took some pictures. She took her like really nice camera, but she was having trouble like trying to get it. It was tough to get a good shot. She actually like thought she did better with her phone. So, and then you have to have like, so like walking around, like we have our watches and you have to put it on like a red light, I guess. So it's like a flash, and you guys are nodding like, yeah, everyone knows this. I have
no idea.
Oh, okay. So it's like instead of like
I
a
don't
flash-
have
I don't have a watch. Who wears a watch anymore?
a flashlight instead of like a regular like bright flashlight, it's like a red, and then it won't fuck everybody else's vision up, but you can see sort of where you're
You're
going.
so courteous.
Yeah. So I'm known for that. Yeah. No, we were out there. Well, first we went and stood out, and it was fucking cold. Of course, we're right on Lake Michigan, right on the beach. So the wind is fucking blowing. It fucking sucks. And then we're like, it's not fucking getting dark. So we went back to the car, and we sat in the car for a while, and then we like, okay, let's go out again. And then there was a few other people, not a lot. It was like there was a couple. There was a lady with a couple kids, and pretty much that was it. And then us, but you couldn't see shit. So I was a little nervous. Like you're out in the middle of fucking nowhere and out in the woods.
And you've got zero survival skills.
I had a gun with me.
Next thing you
Though.
know, Slender Man.
Oh, well, you can at least shoot shit. You don't know how to clean it or eat it, but you could shoot the motherfucker.
I'm only going to shoot something that's like trying to hurt me. Otherwise, fuck it. I'll go to the grocery store and buy my shit. I'll shoot it right there in the fucking meat department.
It's like an acre of wood.
That's how I hunt.
You got 1 acre.
I go hunt. I go hunt at the fucking meat department in Hy-Vee. I'm just like,
Larry the
I'll
Pooh.
take that steak.
Larry the Pooh's lost in the 1 acre wood. Got his gun.
Yeah. No, I don't know how good of a shot I am. Probably not good. So if I was required to do that to eat, I'd probably be a lot skinnier, I would imagine.
I lost my headphones. Wait, they're coming back. There they are.
Oh,
They came. No, you're good. It's got it. It came back on its own. I don't know what you did, but
I'll
they
not
went away
touch
and
it.
they came back.
Yeah, did you ever see years ago somebody, it went viral, but somebody wrote into like a fucking newspaper. They were like anti-hunting and all that, and they were like that's bullcrap. They should not be allowed to do that. They should go to the grocery store and get their meat there where no animals are harmed. Yep.
Yeah, you know. that
And
doesn't
you should
surprise
be
me.
on the run, and we should shoot you. That's what should happen, because we don't need any more of you.
Yeah.
We've had the world has had enough of you already. That's all we can fucking have. Yeah. So, are you a hunter, Jim?
No, not at all.
Fisher? Do you fish?
No, I hate fishing. I seriously do.
Like it's
Poultry.
not that you just don't want to do it. You absolutely
I
hate it.
hate it.
Please elaborate.
Okay, so when I was little,
What happened? Were you
Fell off a ladder.
Were you sodomized? Were you sodomized while fishing?
Yeah, there was this northern pike that. No, anyway, my grandfather,
He shoved
He,
a northern pike in your ass?
he he was like a tournament fisherman, and he would always take hey, go spend the weekend with Grandpa, right? So we'd go out fishing. He lived right on the Mississippi, and the one time I caught a fish, he fucking grabs the pole from me and reels it in.
That fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
So after that, I was just like, fuck that.
That was
My
like
fish.
the only fun thing you get to do while you're out there, and
Yeah.
then he stole that from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got
Have you
fondled.
talked to anyone about this? Have you?
I have. I'm okay with it, but I fucking hate fishing though. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I got
He
too
loves throwing old men in the river, though.
Yes.
Does enjoy
Ironically
that.
enough.
He'll just take up. He's got his own boat. He'll go out there and push old guys in the
Yeah.
fucking river.
Yeah.
And like, I don't have any guns. I wish I did, but like, whenever I'd get money to buy a gun, I'd go like buy a drum set.
I was going to say I took a fishing trip instead.
What you should do, okay.
Yeah, you should have said that.
So, all right, you didn't get a gun. So it's good. You didn't shoot any old men, but what you got to do is go near one of their fishing holes with your drum set and just play the shit out of it. So it scares all the fucking
I
fish
promise
away.
you they'll be pissed off about that. I can fucking
Get in a
guarantee
flat
it.
bottom boat and just be drumming past
Come
them.
out there with a fucking full PA.
Have you ever seen the video of that dude
Subwoofers.
that's got his motorcycle, but it's set up like a drum set?
Oh,
You ever
yeah.
see that?
Oh, yeah.
He's
yeah,
like at the
yeah.
red light, like
Yeah. That's super dope.
That's hilarious. But yeah, my grandpa, man, he took me fishing, and he was awesome. He had like this secret spot, and like I'm like, okay, grandpa's secret spot, sure, grandpa, whatever. Like no one's gonna know about it. But no shit. So we were out. There's like an island in the middle of the river, and this is up in northern Iowa. And we're like heading towards his spot. Well, all of a sudden, here comes a fishing boat around the bend, and my grandpa's like, he like veers off.
No.
Yeah, he like literally, he's like, no. I'm like, what are we doing? He's like, we'll come back into here in a little bit. And he just like drove around. That boat disappears. We go in, and it literally, so it was like an island in the middle, and it had this little bit of a creekway basically to get in there, to the point that we had to get out of the boat and like pull the boat because the water is only like 3 inches deep.
Wow.
And so I'm like, this is insane. So we get out there, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 10 years old or something, whatever. So we get out, and so finally then it opens up, and there's like a lagoon in the middle of the fucking thing. Well, holy shit, we filled a 5-gallon bucket full of bluegills in like fucking 10 minutes. Like it was literally as fast as you could put the pole in the water, you're pulling it back out.
Wow.
And so then I'm like, holy shit. So then we're going to leave. Same thing. Got to pull the boat across the. And then my grandpa's like, all right, listen. He's like, when we get back to town, everybody's going to be asking where we were catching them at. And he's like, just don't even say anything. I'll take care of it. And I'm like, okay. So we get back to town. Sure enough, somebody right at the dock sees the fucking bucket full of fish. And they're like, whoa, where are you catching those at, Lou? My grandpa's name was Lou. And
I'd be guessing by that story.
he's like, oh yeah, you like the complete opposite direction. He's like, oh yeah, up by whatever fucking island. That's slick. Just like
Fishermen are smarter than it's
grandpa's
like,
a
we just
fucking
got,
liar.
it's not up there. It's down here somewhere.
right.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know that Lou
Yeah.
and his fucking grandson
It was
Larry.
wild. Yeah.
The Lou and Larry fucking
He
show.
ultimately, my grandpa actually, that was his favorite thing to do was ice fishing. And then that's what he actually died doing that. He was ice fishing. And
Surprise.
He had a fucking heart attack. And his brother was with him, and his brother was a retired EMT, and his wife, and he could not. He couldn't revive him, and they couldn't. My grandpa had one of them airboats. He had it was an old flat John boat that he stuck a fucking airplane motor on the back, and that's how he'd go across the ice and shit to go ice fishing. And my uncle or my great uncle, his brother, could not get it. He didn't know how to start it. Couldn't get it started. And they just started screaming for help. And they were actually really close to the Wisconsin border. And somebody over there heard them, called over to where he's from, and somebody else had to come out. But I mean, he was by the ship.
Somebody's down, don't you know?
They had somebody. I mean, I think they had an ambulance waiting at the dock. But I mean, he was done.
What's the lesson?
So
Communication
don't
is
go
important.
fucking ice fishing.
Well, that's lesson number one. Because
I've never understood that anyway. Like people, like you see them sitting on a bucket out in the fucking frozen.
Fuck that.
Like, I could think of like 8 billion other things I would rather do, including like getting my fucking
having a fucking
testicles
heart
ripped
attack.
off.
I don't know what it is lately, but like
I would rather have a fucking heart attack.
I get so cold lately, and I'm just freezing. And my kid makes fun. It's because you're old. Old people
I get that
cold.
all the time. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was because you're from the lower country.
Fucking-
I didn't know.
He's acclimated. He was grandfathered in. Like he doesn't have any of this Trump bullshit he's got to worry about. He was grandfathered in Mexican. This shit's been here a while.
Yeah, you're safely here.
Yep.
For now.
Back when they didn't care, they welcomed
I'm thinking about
immigrants
reporting you.
to the country.
I am thinking about reporting you. I don't know.
That would be my luck.
Let's see how this edit goes
Get
with these
fucking
new.
Now we're reporting.
Let's see how that
Jim's
goes.
got all these new fucking lights and everything. We'll see how this edit goes.
Lights and cameras.
Yeah.
Oh, they better look good. I'm going to be pissed if it
My
doesn't.
grandfather used to just cuss and smoke cigarettes. It was a great time.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
So my grandfather, my adopted dad's dad, I don't think I was ever told all the stories about him because what I remember, they lived in a little tiny town in northern Iowa called North Buena Vista. Barrett, you've been there. You've been up there with us,
We've been
right?
up there partying.
Yeah, and
Near Burb, don't you know?
partying. Yeah, partying.
Well, I was
and-
fucking partying. He was driving.
Yeah, that's true. So everybody loves to take me with them because I'm the DD. But anyways, so I
good to know.
remember as a kid that my grandpa did not drink, but he used to drink. But by the time I was around, he did not drink, And there must have been some bad shit happen because my dad was a bad drunk, and he was there all night, all the time. But if something happened where like my dad would get into a fight or some shit, as soon as my grandfather would walk in the door, it just shuts down. And I saw this a couple different times where people are getting rowdy or fights starting, and then Lou comes walking in the door, and it just fucking stops. And I was like, what the fuck? And the only thing I ever get, my grandma told me that he was a Gold Glove boxer when he was in the military. And I'm like, okay, so, but at some point, he must have kicked some ass or something.
Yeah.
Because, like much younger men were like,
oh shit, it's Lou. Remember that thing with the banana and the fucking owl?
They're like, don't hit his kid, man. Don't hit him. Yeah. But that was back when it was so weird. Like, I remember one time, and this was like, it's a really, really small town where like kids we'd be at it's not a bar, it's a tavern. We'd be at the tavern until, midnight, whatever. It didn't even matter. Kids, I would go in and out of there all the time playing video games or shooting pool or whatever, right? Well, I remember my dad was in there fucking getting ripped up, and I don't know what happened. He must have mouthed off. Somebody mouthed off. He gets into a fight, and he gets tackled to the ground, and the guy's on top of my dad, and I'm 9 years old. He's on top of my dad. He's like fucking punching, going to town. Wyatt was playing pool. I'm 9 years old. I run over there and I smack the guy in the back of the head with my pool cue. And the next thing I remember, what I do remember, is some lady just like scooping me up. She's like, nope. She gets me the fuck out of there. So it gets all broken up. It is fucking snowing. It's like 10 inches of snow. And so my dad's like, come on. And so we're walking home, right? And it's cold. It's snowing. It's not very far. It's only probably quarter mile. But we're walking, and the guys he was in the fight with are in a truck following us, which I'm freaked out. It turned out they actually were just making sure that I got home safe. But the funny thing is, not funny really, but it kind of is now.
It's funny.
When we got to the house.
It's therapy funny.
I went up the stairs, and then he started coming up on the outside up to the porch, and he slipped and fell. Ultimately broke his arm, which we didn't know until the next day. But this is just funny how guys are, right? So the next day, I'm with him at the hospital in a little town, because they don't have one there, obviously. It's like 20 minutes away or whatever. We go there. Now he's in a cast and everything. We stop at a bar in that town before we head home. We walk in. Here's those two guys. Those same two guys, right? And I'm like, as a kid, I'm like, oh, fuck. And they all bought each other beers, and everything was good.
The good old days.
The good old days when
you knock somebody around and buy some beers.
Well, remember that back even in like middle school for us, right? Yeah, like you get into somebody, you get into a fight, and then you're like fucking best friends. Like you just had to get it out. Like, did you ever have that?
Yeah, it's a coming of age ritual, and it's evolution, man. We're animalistic. We're tribal. We go through shit. If you don't
Can't do it now,
if you don't watch a video where you have to stomp somebody's fucking eyeballs in the brush. If you understand that, you can just knock each other around and get it fucking out of your system and move on.
In Peru, there's this group of indigenous people there that it's like a holiday. They have this thing where it's like this big festival type thing. There's food and music and shit. But the whole purpose of this whole thing is to fight someone that you have an issue with.
Yeah, throughout the year. So once a year they get together.
Yeah.
I've heard about that, yeah.
Yeah. And
that's what that whole tomato...
living shit out of each other. And then whoever wins, well, they were right, Whatever the problem was, whoever won was the guy who was right, you know what I'm saying? And they shake and they go party.
Yeah, and then there's one that they do isn't that the same reason they do the one in Italy somewhere? They do the tomato fight. Where it's like a snowball fight, but it's all tomatoes.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah,
based
yeah.
on that same thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
I've
it's like
seen
aggression
it,
throughout the year, and everybody just fucking
Tomato
goes
fest.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to see it when they do the running of the bulls. That cracks me. That's Barcelona, right? That's Spain.
Yeah.
That cracks me up because like every time, but I'm fucked up. So like every time I see somebody get gored, I'm just like, that's what you fucking get.
Yeah,
I love
dumbasses.
it. I'm like, that is what you get. Like everybody's like, oh my god, he's getting gored. He's gonna die. I'm like, yeah, that's
it's a fucking bull.
He's
That's
a
what they
fucking
do.
moron. Yeah.
Stupid shit.
My grandma had one of those felt bullfighter pictures.
Of course
Oh
she did.
man, I love
course.
that
That was
shit.
so cool.
Yeah. Does she have an Elvis one? My mom had an Elvis one.
And an Elvis. You have to have Elvis.
And my dad had one that was like a velvet, but it was like a chick in a lingerie with like see-through black lingerie. You could see her boobs. Like as a kid, I was like,
You said chick? I thought you said chicken.
A chicken.
no, an actual chick.
Chicken.
A girl.
With black
I'm like,
lingerie.
that's so weird.
It doesn't surprise me from the 70s.
Wow.
Got a chicken with a nightgown on, and you can see her breasts.
Big muff. It's like a white chicken with a big triangle
But man,
black muff.
what a fucked up crazy childhood though. Like I remember specifically
70s were a wild time.
Oh my God. I would walk
my
past
goodness.
the bathroom in the morning. I'd walk past the bathroom. My dad is sitting on the shitter with a cigarette in his mouth, stark ass naked, sitting on the shitter with a cigarette looking at a Playboy magazine.
You know what I like about your dad? He was a classy individual.
He was very classy. And I remember walking past and being like, it's just like, is this fucking normal? It took me years to realize that this is not normal fucking behavior.
That's funny.
Yeah, man.
Depends on where you're from, I guess. I
In
don't
the
know.
70s. You know, I was making fun of my grandfather, but I mean, he wasn't like, okay, here's what my grandfather was. He was very hands-on when you were little, right? Like when you were a toddler, man, he was all about the grandkids, just everything.
Yeah.
Just loved them.
Yeah.
Once you got older as a young teenager and stuff, he didn't give a fuck.
Fuck off.
Fuck you.
Once you
But
got
that's about
mouthy.
the time, it's right about the time when he was that age. He had to be working and doing all this shit, So he's like, get a fucking job. But I mean, the guy did tour and he was in the Navy in World War II and he'd been through some shit.
Yeah. Well,
My grandpa was in the Navy in World War II.
and once you start
went
getting
through some
mouthy,
shit. So
Right.
he seemed a little more grumpy. But me and my brothers would always make fun because the only thing you could understand him saying is "goddamn" and "sons of bitches" because you couldn't understand another fucking word he said. Goddamn sons of bitches.
I ran into a guy years ago in Davenport, Iowa, that we were doing some work for him, concrete work or something. I can't remember, but I laughed my ass off because this dude, every other word was goddamn, like every other word, and to the point that he got really fired up talking about concrete tools for some reason.
That's exciting shit.
We had it so easy compared to how they had to do
all
goddamn
your
concrete back
fucking
goddamn 1940
ladders.
goddamn 7. Like that's what he would say, and then the best part, he was getting all worked up. And he's like, and at one point he emphasized goddamn with goddamn. Because he's like, goddamn, 1947, goddamn it. And I was like, that is fucking
legit.
awesome. Like you're literally emphasizing the word with its own word. Like that was incredible.
Yeah, we make jokes to Jim about Spanish. You can't understand them old white guys for shit. They got their own language.
Shit, yeah. And they ain't got no
Oh,
teeth.
no teeth.
Goddamn
One tooth.
crack asses.
Crackers. Crack-a-lagging.
I was just gonna say that. God damn it.
Yeah.
I love saying "God damn it," and you know why? It's because of Aliens, the movie Aliens, where she's trying to get out with the little girl, and they're waiting for the elevator. She's like, "Come on, God damn it, come on!" So
That's why you
love saying that.
I think I never was big on it, but then as I got older, I can totally see where my grandfather was coming from. So Jesus Christ, God damn it. They have so much more emphasis than
Sons
fuck.
of bitches.
Fuck is so easy and childish.
I just
But
think I
God
don't.
damn it.
I didn't think
son
I'd
of a
ever hear
bitch.
the phrase. I just really love to say "God damn."
I do. Fucking God damn it.
I'm that way with the F word. I have to get it out on the way
What
to
fucking
work.
word is that?
All the way to work, I'm like, motherfucker, God damn it, shit, fuck. Because then I get to work, I got to be like, hey, how are you today?
Well, based on my grandfather, and then you hand it down to my dad. He just cussed. Then I cussed,
Yeah.
And I try not to. And for all these years, I've told my kids, I'm like, I would apologize to them when they were young. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, I shouldn't cuss, and it makes me sound dumb. And now my kids will catch themselves like, oh, I'm trying not to cuss, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I don't know where you get it.
So it's
But
funny.
they're both at the age now that I can just say
It's
what I
funny
want
you
to
say that. So I decided a while back, actually you and I think had this conversation. I decided a while back, I'm like, I don't care. They're words. I'm not censoring myself. At work, yes, obviously I need to have a job. It's
dumb.
But like at home, I don't censor myself much around my
Yeah,
kids.
fuck that.
And I teach them when and where and who. Right,
Yep.
Not at grandma's house, not at school, right? Not to mom and dad, but this year, so my son is really getting into golf, and I'm really into golf, and so we're starting something we can do together. We can play golf, right? So, it was 2 times ago that we went, and he hit a bad shot, and he goes, "Shit!" And I looked at him. He looked at me, and I'm like, you know what? When you're golfing, you can cuss as much as you want. So then it was like 2 holes later, he hits another bad shot, and he's like, "Fuck!"
It's testing the
And I'm
water.
like, "Okay." I'm like, I did tell him he could, but then I'm like, okay, but like when you go golfing with Papa, like you're gonna have to rein this in because that's not gonna be
It's
okay.
only with me.
He'll just test the water with him too and be like, damn.
Yeah. Well, it's like but he'll do it with his mother too, though. He'll cuss on the golf course. But I did notice it was, oh God, it's been a while now. I may have even talked about it on the podcast before, but like I forget, something happened. And he's like, "What the hell?" And we were home, and I'm like, "Hey," and he's like, "Mom said I could say it." And I look at my wife, and I look at my wife, and she's just like, literally, she's like she's just like tired of the battle.
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't fucking care." So I'm like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah,
You
that's
guys
what
ever see the reel I had made? It's I bleeped out all the swear words, and like the whole thing is pretty much just beep the whole time. Yeah.
That's me in traffic. I put a meme up the other day that when I'm at home, I don't know if you saw it at home, I'm like, "Oh, everyone should love each other and be kind." And then I get in the car and I'm like, "I want every fucking human being to die right now. Everyone must die." Yeah, that's literally me and on the road. So
I've reined in my.
your
I
road
had
rage.
reined in my rage
Yeah.
living out in the country, but now I'm living back in Davenport again. Oh, choke a motherfucker! God damn.
With a motherfucker.
No shit.
What is it? I'll hit a motherfucker
Oh,
with
people
another motherfucker.
are the worst, man. They are just absolutely the worst.
Of all the people that I hate the most, it's people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of all the people in the world, I hate people the most.
Yeah, they're the worst. There's no doubt. So, and I can't.
I really hate people sometimes.
I just hate. I hate rednecks right now. I'm in that fucking. I can't stand rednecks. They drive me nuts.
yeah.
I think it's, man, again, you start to classify that it's the same thing that goes with every genre, whether it's rock and roll or hip hop or rednecks. There's this younger generation of
Kiss fans.
arrogance.
Look at
This younger
We made it
generation.
31 minutes before I mentioned Kiss.
Younger generation of there's like this arrogant, cocky, fucking in your face, bullshit.
fuck.
Because you've got good country, you've got good hip hop, you've got good rock and roll, soul. I mean, you got everything that goes with it. And then you get these young people that just like you just want to fucking kill them. Like, why do you don't need to flash your fucking mullet to me? Don't flash your mullet to me. I don't need to see that shit.
Your kid has a fucking mullet.
Oh yeah, he's determined too.
Oh my god.
I had a mullet when they first came out.
I used to have a mullet.
I had a mullet.
Get
I had a
the
rat
fuck
tail.
out of my house.
I'm saying. I believe I seen a picture
Did
with
you just say
with the mullet.
Pause. Did you just say you had a fucking rat tail?
Yeah, when I was about
Get
fucking
the
7
fuck
or 8.
out of my house. Oh my
When he thought
god.
kids
I was a wee
cool.
lad.
Every time I see a little kid with a rat tail, I just want to fucking choke their parents out. Like, what are you doing?
You letting them express themselves because
yeah.
no, wait, listen to that. Listen to that. They know as parents that this kid's gonna look back and go, "Oh my fucking god, why didn't you stop me?" And they're gonna go,
Yeah, for sure.
The
We
same
tried.
reason your parents let you wear a mesh crop top.
"Yeah, well, they didn't let me. I just fucking did it." But they're gonna be like, "We did tell you, but you didn't want to listen." So
Isn't it funny how
Suck
fucking
it up.
Isn't it funny how fucking arrogant we can be about that? Like the shit I wore as a kid, like, oh my god, it was so fucked. But I'll be the first one to be like my kids would wear something I don't like and be like, Jesus Christ, it looks fucking stupid.
Yeah. I rolled the jeans in the 80s, man.
I did too.
Did you roll
Yep,
them up
I
tight?
cuffed the jeans.
Yeah.
I'd get fucking bruises on my shins and shit. I'd roll them so tight.
You thought you were rolling a joint.
Yeah.
You can't do it the same way, Jim.
Oh my god.
Did you lick the bottom of your jeans?
Yeah. Oh no. Get that fucker in there.
Oh my goodness.
They're like, you got any rolling papers,
use-
Jim? He's like, I got a
use
couple pairs of
cones
jeans.
now.
Let's just smoke my leg.
I don't have any rolling papers, but I got a set of Levi's in the drawer.
Get them Wranglers out.
Oh, goodness.
fuck
You guys are
me.
my real friends. We bust out the Levi's for my friends. You're just my neighbor. You get
Yeah,
some
he'll put
Wranglers.
some honey oil in that one.
Yeah, so speaking of kids and haircuts, my kids, when they were like 5 and 3, they had mohawks.
Oh yeah, the kids had to go through the mohawk stage, the dyed hair
Mm-hmm.
stage.
Yeah, Riley did a bunch of that in the summertime. And then, oh my God, I trimmed up his hair. This is maybe not even 3-4 weeks ago now. And he's been petrified to let me go near because, I don't know, it's like 4 years ago now. He wanted to do a mohawk. So I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I got my trimmer out, got my hair trimmer out. And I was like, let's do this. I'm thinking he wants a mohawk.
Mohawk, yeah. Not a faux hawk, a mohawk.
A mohawk. So I have it on like 1 or whatever, and I just start going, and he's fucking flips out. He wanted just to have like a little bit longer in the top, like a full. And I'm just, well, now that I've made a strip, I mean, it's
now let's get the
you're
ransom
done
plan.
now,
Let's
right?
go.
And so he never forgave me. And so then, like, even when I was just, all I was doing is just nipping off like by his sideburns, and then in the back there in the middle, what do they call that? The ducktail or whatever. He wanted me to do that, but even then he was just like, don't, just only that, Dad. Don't, like, he thought I was just
Well, but you're like, I did exactly what you told me last time. Your
Right.
instructions were shit.
yeah. So, but man, I traumatized the poor kid. I'm like, I'm sorry, kid.
When I was young, I wanted long hair. It was just a phase, but that's what I was after, you know?
like a 50-year fucking phase. Fucking long hair.
I'm afraid to shave it.
I still laugh every time I see
zigzag.
Every time I see that lady,
I fucking Charlie, just one curl.
every time I see that lady
I
at
got a
work
rock.
that I was talking to her kid about your hair, and he asked if you get poop in it. Your hair.
Oh, yeah.
It was so long, 'cause I said it goes down to his ass. That was so good. I did the old haircut myself. I think I was in like, I don't know, 3rd grade or something. I decided my bangs were too long in my face, so I just took a scissors and went right across right here at the hairline. Just my mom's
out of
like,
my
what
eyes.
the fuck? So she buzz cut my hair. That was the first, like, we used to call them butch, right? Now,
Yeah,
did you ever call
butch,
it that, the
yeah.
butch haircut?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just and then after that, I never got a haircut for years. I grew it out super long, like yours.
I couldn't really grow it out until my parents got divorced, and then my mom just said,
She's like, "Fuck it, do what you want.
well, she's like, just as long as you keep it clean.
It's
I
your
don't
fault
care."
we're getting divorced anyway."
I didn't start growing my hair out till I
That's
was
what
like
she told
25.
me. It's your fucking haircut. Why we're
Your
getting
fucking
divorced?
haircut.
dumb
You're the
shit.
whole reason we're getting divorced.
Ugly
Idiot.
ass fucking haircut. Rat-tailed dummy. Red-tailed dummy was the second-hand hood.
He is down in Hollywood.
That was rat-tailed dummy.
That's funny. My Facebook memory today was the video you sent me of Vince Neil with the fake words on it when he's like,
Oh, man.
Kickstop, maha, gaga, gapapa.
I saw that the
What an
other day,
embarrassment.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I saw.
You feel bad for the guy.
Chad
I do
Gray.
not feel bad for
No,
him.
fuck that guy.
This guy's got to have a level of self-awareness and go, look at me.
He's literally just cashing checks. He don't even give a fuck what
He's
it
the
sounds like.
fucking
Yeah, right.
Yeti.
I don't know
Yeah.
if we talked about that or talking about somebody else. Like, the guy's still getting paid. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
He doesn't even sound good. He can just stand out there and look at people.
So Chad Gray, who's the lead singer of Mudvayne and was with Hell Yeah, he just last week they posted an article. He was interviewed and he was a huge Motley Crue fan. Like when first album came out.
Well, fuck
He's
yeah.
like,
We all
just
were.
oh, absolutely. He's like that Too Fast for Love album, the very first song, Livewire, right? Like
I wanted to be the
fucking-
first kid on my block to worship Satan.
Like just that riff is like, whoa, this is fucking cool, right? And it was raw and it was awesome. And he's like, even he said, he's like, those guys need to just stop it. He's like,
It's not those guys,
It's
though.
time. It's done.
Because
It's time to be done.
look at Nikki Sixx. Even Mick Mars will admit he's just fucking crippled up. He's fucking
Yeah, he
injured.
can't
right?
help it,
But if
right?
you
Yeah.
listen to his solo album, his most recent one,
Yeah, I just downloaded.
fucking
It's really good.
Awesome. It's really awesome.
Well, the album they did with John Corabi was fucking
yeah,
heavy
really
and kicked. I was like, this is the best
Yeah, I
fucking
like
album
that
they
one.
ever did.
Nikki Sixx is in, like, honestly, this guy's 10 years older than me, and if not more, 15 years older than me, and looks fantastic.
Well, he got clean and sober. Yeah, he died.
But, I mean, he
three
can
times.
still
so,
he
yeah.
can still play fucking bass. He
Yeah.
can still. So
He's a good
it's
writer
not,
and
it's
and
not those
producer and
guys.
shit.
It's just Vince Neil.
Yeah.
Like Vince Neil should have seen like Nikki Sixx and time, and then go, I think I need to fucking quit eating the sandwiches. I need to work out a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe go for a jog. If we're
Yeah.
going on tour, guys. Yeah. I probably should go for a jog.
Yeah, he jogged from the fucking couch to the fridge.
Yeah. Jog to the shitter. I ate
he'll-
14 sub sandwiches. I gotta drop it.
He'll end up dead on the shitter like Elvis at some
Yeah.
point.
So, I mean, it's not that I feel sorry for him. The guy's got to have a level of self-awareness.
Yeah,
Because when he
that's
was young and cocky, he probably looked in the mirror and went, God damn, I look fucking good.
Yeah,
well, he
especially
did.
when I wear all that
So
makeup.
now, he
I would've fucked
cannot,
him back in the
he
80s.
cannot look in the mirror right now and go, I look fucking good. No, he's got to go,
He probably doesn't have a single
Yeesh.
mirror in his house. I wouldn't. I'm like, you know what?
He
Just
probably
look-
still does think.
I'll
He
buy
is
this
the-
house, but you got to
he
get
is
rid of
the
all
fucking
the mirrors.
demon that was summoned. It's like Stankopolis.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Greasy
feel bad
fucker.
for him because of that fucked up situation with the
That's a
killing that
long
guy,
fucking time
but
ago,
yeah.
man.
Same old situation.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a long fucking time ago.
I think somebody got it. Thank you.
If he
I'll be
was
here on
if
it.
he was going to hold on to that, he should have just stopped then.
That's
right?
true. Yeah, you're right.
You lived
I
through
don't
it.
know.
His daughter died. He got sick or whatever. She had
shit,
cancer
I
or whatever.
forgot about that,
And
yeah.
all those things happened. Awful things. If you're going to give up, then is not to give up.
I think that's what he gets for singing so bad.
No. He sang bad after that. That's like, you can't reverse karma, right? It's like, well, remember that time you broke your ankle?
Karma's like, listen, I know you're going to put out all these new albums and you're going to go on tour and
Karma would've killed him.
you're going to steal people's fucking money because you sound like shit. So your kid's dying.
Did we not? We still had a good time.
We did have a good time.
Right. So even though he sucked, we still had a great time.
That was when I was still drinking though. So I had a good time no matter what.
We still would have had a good time because we got to see,
Yeah, we were hanging out. and having
Tommy
fun.
Lee and
We didn't
Mick
see
Mars.
Tommy Lee though. If you remember, wasn't that weird? Because we kept commenting like it could be anybody back there because there was no lights on Tommy Lee.
That's right.
Which I thought was weird because he's like Mr. Show. Like he
I
loves
think
the
you're right.
attention.
I think you're right.
Because we kept talking like that could be fucking anybody back there. It's probably Ringo Starr fucking back there. But it was just really that was such a. Like as a musician, have you ever been to a show like that, Jim? Like where you like Barrett and I would like look at each other, like probably the first verse of the first song, and we genuinely felt bad.
Embarrassed for
I was
him.
embarrassed for Vince Neil because it sounded so fucking bad.
Okay, you got to tap into your feeling. I know there's one of them in there. You have to tap into that
He
one
keeps it
feeling
way down there.
and go, yeah, there was a time I might have sort of kind of addressed it. Not really felt bad. We're trying to relate here.
Yeah.
So,
Look
like
deep
a
into my
show?
eyes. Yeah, was there any
any famous
musician
person
or
that-
whatever that you were like?
You were just so embarrassed for because they were so awful.
And then you heard him play, and you're like, "Oh God, this
It's
is
part of
so-" or
empathy.
heard him
Do you know
sing.
what that is?
It's usually singers. It's not so much like drummers or guitar players or whatever. But
That's a deep
Fuck,
breath just to
man,
say
I don't
no.
know, man.
This is the worst conversation
I only
we've
go
ever
had.
and see bands that
I
are
thought we
good.
were gonna lead into
I don't
shit.
go watch
I
some shit
only
bands
go
like you
see
guys.
bands that are good. You've
know what?
never seen a band that was
Actually,
shit.
honestly, Dream Theater, and I brought this up before.
Larry and I
I've
have
seen
seen
him and seen videos of live, and it's just like, dude, sing it down lower, you know?
Wait, so you're saying Dream Theater, like a
Yeah,
band with like the
Yeah,
most
I mean,
talented guys in the world?
Live is just not as good, man.
Hey, if we're gonna-
Not that it's bad. Like, I don't feel bad, for him. Like, dude, you just got to quit kind of thing. But it's just not great sometimes.
If
A
we're
lot
gonna-
of times it's fucking phenomenal.
Sometimes. If we're going to judge, you might as well go big, right? If we're going to have these guys come down here and kick our ass, you might as well go for Dream Theater.
Might as well.
Like
I even
Motley
got
Crue.
the shirt on.
Those guys
Like, he could
suck.
kick your ass. Vince
guys-
Neil ain't going to whip anybody's
Oh,
ass.
no.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Whip the shit
lure
out
him
of a
down. I'd
pizza.
have to lure him down here with a fucking cake.
You leave a slice of pizza on the table.
You want
you'd
some of
never
this,
see
Vince?
him.
Come get this cake, motherfucker. Let's see it.
Here.
And then once you get down, you just have to go back up the stairs because there's no way he's going
not
back
making
up.
back up.
Yeah, he may never.
Throw me the cake.
We remember the pictures of when the first pictures of Axl Rose came out, like when he finally saw the light of day again, and he was all fat and shit, and everybody was like, "Welcome to the jungle. We got lots of cake." Man, how fucking shitty! Can you imagine? Like I'm a fucking fat piece of shit too, but I don't have to live in the national spot or worldwide spotlight
And
all
you're
the time.
self-aware of it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
like
self-aware.
self-awareness.
I'm not going to do anything about it, apparently, but
But
I am
actually,
aware.
I didn't care for Axl Rose because of his arrogance and his
Oh,
bullshit.
he's a piece of shit.
But actually, my brother went and saw him, and it's probably been 5 or 6 years. But he's like, this guy came out and humbly owned it.
He did.
Owned
and
his
that's
shit.
when everything
I'm
changed.
like, that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
You got to give the guy credit
Yep.
for that. And he's like, I was a piece of shit. I was a fucking all these things.
Yep.
He's like, man, I just want to have a good time now.
So
and hang
his
out."
very
So-
first show, the very first reunion Guns N' Roses show with Slash and Duff, it was in Australia, I think, is where they did their very first show with everybody back except for Izzy Stradlin.
Didn't one of those guys die?
No.
What about the drummer? Wasn't he all like fucking?
He's all fucked up.
Steve
but he's-
Adler?
Steven Adler, but he's sober and been touring around for 20 years now. Yeah. But he joins in
I
with
thought
them
he
every
fucking
once in a while.
died.
No, he didn't. He tried to. He tried to kill himself with the drugs. But yeah, no, he's straightened up and he's doing well. But no, but they did so one of the big knocks on them back in the day was Axl
Brick.
he wouldn't even go on stage till it'd be an hour and a half, 2 hours late. Right. And they had lots of riots because people were fucking tired of waiting, all that kind of shit. Right. So they did the first show back and everybody's like, well, what's going to happen now? Guns N' Roses. Right. And they started like 5 minutes early.
Wow.
And he came out like after the first song, and he's like, everybody see, I started early. like, cause he knew, right? You know, that's what everybody was just waiting to see.
My
What's
brother
going to happen.
said he got some cred back because of his
Sure.
his
if
humility.
if
and
you're
he was
willing
able
to own your shit and be like, yeah, I was a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, and he's done a good job. He did a phenomenal job filling in for Brian Johnson for AC/DC.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that. I'm like,
I've never even
God,
seen it or heard it.
Here's a question for you guys.
he
So,
did it really, really well.
has there been like a band that you thought was okay, and then you went and saw them, and they fucking completely blew you away?
Oh, like you were like, I don't know, and then you saw him.
So I went and saw Quite Right,
Yeah.
and I really wasn't expecting much. It's like, okay, yeah, I know they're
Like original, like with Kevin DeBrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, it was fucking phenomenal.
Think of the great members. Fucking Randy Rhoads started that band. Like,
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, it was such a good show.
Yeah, but they were good. I mean, even Kevin DeBrow was a piping motherfucker.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it was a great
Yeah.
band, even though, and that's what we've talked about this shit before with the fucking 80s. The stigma that came with the 80s ruined some fabulous musicians because they got stuck with that glam garbage.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, who was yours? You
But
brought
who's
it
your-
up. So, who
It
are
was
you?
Quite Right.
Quite Right, yeah.
Oh, that was the, yeah.
Man, I don't know. I know there's been some, but
I've seen so many. I will say, honestly, my wife's Hailstorm, I'm still not a Hailstorm fan. Like, as far as their songs, I'm not a huge, like, I can't throw on a Hailstorm album and listen to it all the way through.
I like
But
that quite a bit.
the first time that we went to see them was at the Adler in Davenport, Iowa. And I was like, okay. I mean, I was there with her, and it was great. We had fun. But when Lizzie Hale came out and started singing, I stood there with my jaw dropped down for most of that show because she's that next level shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, she is worth the price of admission. They're talented people. They're all talented musicians and stuff, but she's got that something else that's like, holy shit. And every time we've seen them since, I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm not even into the songs, but I will watch her and listen to her sing all day long. And she actually, I don't know if you saw my Facebook thing. So Skid Row parted ways with their singer, and Lizzie Hale is going to sing with them, and they're playing at Riverside by Iowa City. And I immediately called my wife, or I sent her a picture, and she's like, "Yep, she bought tickets already." And like,
I saw.
that's going to be amazing because I saw a video of her doing "Slave to the Grind."
I'm curious.
Let me go?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I forgot what I was saying.
So, on to your question.
I think certain things are kicking in.
I'm sure there are fucking bands that I didn't think were going to be worth the shit. But one of the things that has been tough, especially in our age, right? Nowadays, the technology is so good that live shows are good. Right?
Oh yeah, they got backing
because
vocals.
way back in the day, just the technology wasn't there, the equipment wasn't there, so you were hearing a live show and you missed a lot. When I saw some bands, I was expecting a live show. So way back in the 80s, one of the ones that that stands out now, there's more, and there's some that are more impressive because I've had this thought before, but I can't think of them right now. But Vixen, I saw Vixen live, and I was like, Cher Peterson, as a bass player, I was like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
These girls are tearing up, and they did too, legit. Because I was a follower of the Runaways and Joan Jett and stuff, so I was like all about kind of that heavy metal chick band thing. That they were just so good and so raw. But when I saw Vixen, they were a little more glam because they were following the whole glam thing, right?
Well, that's the early and mid-80s.
They easily could have taken the Runaways path, but they got a little more.
They're
glam
still
with it.
playing. Vixen's still playing. They're still touring. Yeah,
They're fantastic. But to see them live was really good. And when I went and saw Soundgarden the first time, being grunge and as raw as they are, and being a live show, and this was at it was at Palmer Auditorium.
Yep.
So I was not expecting a lot. I was expecting a good show. I wasn't expecting a good sound.
Right.
Because of just the time. And when I heard, I was like, holy fucking shit.
Another super talented
Yeah.
band.
I mean, you got Chris Cornell, and then the sound was incredible. You could just feel the music.
So let's flip that then. Who have you ever gone to a show, you're like, I don't even know what to think, or it's a band you don't never heard of, and you like all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, it's fucking amazing.
Well, I want to add one more to that. It was a third.
Was that not the same question I put out there?
No, you said
yours was opposite.
Like you thought they were going to
be good, but they turned out to be shitty.
No, that's not what I said.
That isn't what you said.
No.
Oh no, he said they thought they were going to be shitty, but they turned out to be really good. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what I said.
Well, I guess my brain is thinking more like somebody you didn't really know. Like you didn't know of the band.
Anyways.
And you...
Who is this fucking guy? Anyways. So,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So through,
it is different. You're
through
lucky
the 90s, I bought Ozzy Osbourne tickets 3 separate times and he canceled. Right?
Fucking asshole.
I was pissed, but
We should sue him.
I understood where the guy was from. I mean, he was whacked out on everything and just old, and he was old then. But when we saw him at the...
He was old in the 30s.
Yeah. So when we saw him up at the Metal Fest,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Open air,
I did not. I didn't set my standards too high on that. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to see the guy come out. I'm going
Me
to say
too.
I saw Ozzy, and I'm going to be able to I did it. I got to see
He's
him
going to be shuffling
finally.
around the stage.
Yep. And when he shuffled across the stage, I'm like, yeah. And then he just goes, "Rah!" I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
The guy still had it. So
I wish I would have been able to
See, and that's
that
how I
blew me
felt.
away.
That was when Zach was with them. That was the one we were
Yep.
at, and that how I feel about and like how you feel about Zach. That's how the same feeling I have watching Lizzie Hale perform. They're just that Chicago
Next
open
level,
air.
man.
Every one of those guitar players was fucking amazing, but then Zach came out and it was like, whoa, like okay, these guys are all great. This dude is his own fucking stratosphere. And that's how Lizzie Hale is. They're all good singers, right? And then she comes out and it's like, holy shit, right?
So it reminds me of Amy Lee. I think she's up there too.
Oh, absolutely. That's my wife's 2 favorites are those. And like during kind of the heat of the pandemic, we went to Detroit because Hailstorm opened for Evanescence. And so my wife was like, oh my fuck, we're doing this, right? So yeah, that was...
I don't know why I haven't gotten into those bands, because I'll listen to them, and I think it goes along the same lines of some of the other bands. And a friend of mine coined the phrase bro metal or bro rock, right? But I don't understand that, but it's like, hey, bro. But I think it's like...
Broseph.
But they're really talented, but I don't understand why. I just don't get into it. I don't know if it's because I'm not feeling it or the groove. Maybe it's not raw enough. I don't understand it.
Well,
I love them.
not-
I appreciate them, but it's not. I don't know what it is that I don't like go over. What is they sing the song Cold. Was it Breaking Benjamin?
Oh, yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Very good band, very talented, and I like a couple of their songs, but I just could not get into them, and I don't know what that is.
I think a lot of stuff like that is that even though they're trying to be hard and stuff, they still have that almost poppy feel to their writing a little bit, you know? Because Breaking Benjamin reminds me of that, you know? Like, they get heavy in there, but then they come in with the chorus, and it's like
they're really,
super
really good.
overproduced type shit. You
Yeah,
know?
maybe
I don't
that's
know.
it. Maybe that's it.
Well,
They're
and I
overproduced.
think
I don't know.
well, that's a bad example for me because that was the first concert I ever went to with my wife was Seether, Breaking Benjamin, and 3 Days Grace. So that's got like a
That's
soft
all
place
three
in
of
my
them,
heart, right?
yeah.
But and like
I totally appreciate them, but I just don't get into them, and I don't
I think
understand
the shit
it.
that gets me going now is when I see a perfect example is Seven Dust. Like I've seen them a bunch of times, hung out with those guys, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But when you see them perform the songs that they do and they do it live and they're doing 4 and 5 part harmonies while jamming heavy metal, I'm like, that's fucking amazing.
That drummer blows my shit away.
Yeah,
That guy's
he's a
fucking
phenomenal drummer.
Symphony X,
And
they're like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like when you can see them like, okay, yes, they do this on the album. And I usually just assume it's going to be unless it's Alice in Chains, I just assume it's the singer doing all the fucking harmonies on the album because it normally is. But when you hear like Seven Dust do that live and they're pulling that shit off, it's like, oh my God, like that's fun. And then Morgan Rose is back there fucking rocking out and then singing harmonies. I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? How is this possible? So yeah, it's
They
pretty,
deserve what they get. I mean, that's just amazing.
Speaking of bands like Alice in Chains, going back to concerts and stuff, is there any bands like that you wish you could have seen? Like, not hypothetically like Zeppelin or something, you know, but like say.
That we could have seen during our time.
Yeah, but then you didn't. You missed out, you know. Like Alice in Chains was
mine's easy.
with Lane Staley, you know.
I got to see them.
I did get to see that.
I never got to see them. Pantera.
I got to see
You know,
Pantera.
Yeah, fuck you,
Full
Barry.
on.
That's mine. Pantera's mine.
You know
but
who
I
I
did
didn't
go
get to
last
see,
summer
though?
to see him with Zach and Charlie, but it's not.
I never got to see AC/DC.
I've never seen AC/DC.
Yeah.
I heard from everybody that's ever seen AC/DC, it was the most amazing high energy concert they've ever seen.
My brother-in-law went at the one at Wrigley Field in Chicago, and
would've been incredible.
he goes, that was the loudest thing I've ever been to. Because that one, they even got in trouble. Like they broke all the loudness rules and shit. But yeah, that's one we actually talked about going to that same one that my brother-in-law went to, and we didn't. And now I'm like,
So let's talk.
The other
about
one
that.
for me is Slipknot. That's the other one, but I think we might be rectifying that this summer. So.
I've seen Slipknot several times, but they changed members. But the first time I saw Slipknot was back in.
The Sepultura drummer is going to be their new drummer. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it
sure.
was. It was right after 9/11 when I saw them.
Oh yeah.
And I saw them in Cedar Rapids. So that was a long time ago, and I don't remember who their original lineup was, if they still had the original lineup then or not.
They would have, yeah. Yeah, that was not long after they broke.
Right.
Yeah, because, that was...
So back
definitely
on to AC/DC. We'll throw a lot of, like the young kids, we're going to throw some shade. We throw shade at their drummer, right? But we
Who's that?
talked about this, AC/DC.
Oh, right.
And how it's very simple, but if he's got to hold it down. But there are a lot of bands that were just rock and roll.
Yep.
And that's all they ever set out to be. I have a level of appreciation for that.
Nobody has done their job better than Phil Rudd, just back there, just solidly
The guy's
in the
a
pocket,
metronome.
just fucking stomping, right?
So my
He's
brother-
not
what brings
technically
us up-
proficient. He's just going to fucking kick your ass.
What kind of brings this up is my brother went out to Arizona a week before I went up to see him, and went with his father-in-law, and they went and saw Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
And he's like, holy fucking shit.
Me too.
He's like, this guy's fucking almost 80 years old, fit as fuck.
Yeah, well, he
putting
just
on a hell.
died already.
Stop, though. But
That's not where I thought you were
there
going.
are a list. The guy obviously had his contribution to fucking rock and roll. Right?
absolutely.
He did. Absolutely
Absolutely
did too.
not.
He did too.
Fucker can't sing his way out of a wet paper bag.
Then that's saying Lemmy can't sing his way out of a wet paper bag, and Lemmy was the fucking shit.
Yeah, but he's cool though.
The Ace of Spades.
He's fucking metal. Now see if Springsteen.
I'm talking rock and roll, not metal.
Yeah, get out. And we're not talking metal.
What about John Cougar Mellencamp?
suppose you don't like Huey Lewis and the
Lewis and the
News either.
News, right?
They can all sing. Fucking Bruce Springsteen fucking blows.
I will say, I think
Now,
Bruce
but
Springsteen
if
has...
he did rock like Lemmy, it might have been cool.
I do think
Ding,
that
ding, ding,
you
ding,
have
ding,
to
ding, ding,
acknowledge
ding.
Bruce Springsteen's contribution to
No, fuck
music
that.
and rock and roll.
Fuck that.
I've never been a fan of the way he sings because I've always felt like he sounds like he needs to poop, like with the "Born in the USA."
Yeah, like AC/DC.
Right? Yeah. So it's just I don't know why it's different. It's
The
just
guy was
different to me,
straining, but it's funny
It
because he was just
sucks.
a pal.
It just
I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with you because I'm not a big fan of his voice or whatever, but I do appreciate
the worst
his-
is the fucking
I
Santa
also-
Claus is coming
hey,
to town.
I don't like the
just
fucking
wanna
Beatles.
Reach through the radio and punch him in the throat.
I fucking hate the Beatles, so I don't know.
Wow.
I do. I like 3 songs. But I appreciate and respect their place in rock and roll history. I'm just not.
I just really don't understand why we're friends. All of us.
Probably
I don't
because
even like you, Tim.
you feel sorry for me.
I like the Beatles.
You've got
Beatles a
zero
lot.
taste.
I have
in
like
anything.
3 songs that I can stand by them.
Wow.
Yeah.
My daughter right now is just into the Beatles. She's like,
Oh, she's gone
She's-
from the techno stuff to
well,
the,
she's still
or
into
she's still doing
gorillas
it?
and that,
Yeah.
but she's really like one of her classes in school has a lot to do with current. I think it has to do with current music and current stuff. They're talking a lot about music,
Right.
over the generations, and I think it's her music class. Actually, her music teacher's doing it. She was telling
that
me
would
about
make
it.
sense. Yeah.
But she's kind of delved into the Beatles, which I think is fucking awesome because of their contribution to music.
Sure.
Alone,
And I greatly
and then
appreciate
each of
that.
them individually and how things evolved. Like
Yeah.
Ringo Starr was Ringo Starr, but he still had a contribution to a music. And we say that.
I always wonder
don't
where
live
they would
in-
have been without Yoko getting involved.
I don't live in England. I've never been over there, so I don't know how their feelings are about it. But with American rock and roll and American history, music history, I mean, the Beatles were pivotal. The British invasion.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
but how do you include Springsteen in that? What did he do that was so awesome?
He is blue collar, like John Cougar Mellencamp.
Well, he
Midwest.
sold like
He's
100
blue
million
collar.
records
Yeah.
for starters.
So really,
That just means there's a bunch of people out there that are
But see, I would say the same thing. I'm sorry. I would say the same thing about the Rolling Stones. I'm not a big fan of the Rolling Stones.
yeah.
But you
Lemmy-
can't deny their fucking place in music history.
Somebody asked Lemmy.
Yeah.
I would
okay.
not say Bruce Springsteen is to the level of the Rolling Stones, however, but he's not too far.
But he's an American icon, right?
He is, yeah, he
And
is.
he came from East Coast, hardworking. The same with the Beatles, right? Ozzy Osbourne came from Liverpool. Beatles came from Liverpool.
Yep.
Hardworking,
Yeah, it's a
dirty
blue
area.
collar.
So they're bringing those people up, right? And that's Bruce Springsteen. John Cougar Mellencamp was Midwest. Same thing. Brought up that fucking, hardworking farmer shit.
There's a video floating around right now. John Mellencamp called some dude out like to fight him, and a guy was like heckling him the whole time during the show. And Mellencamp's like, fucking come up
The
here.
guy fucking
Let's
grew
fucking
up
go.
just like the rest of us,
Yeah.
knocking fuckers around and doing shit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
no
what
different.
the interview with him was hilarious because he's like said he would go to the bars and just find like the biggest guy and just fight.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why did you win those fights? He's like, no. He's like, but that was just
He was cocky and
I
young
just
and
would
did his
get
thing,
into I
right?
would get my ass kicked, but
So it's adding
it was
that.
fun. I'm like, that does not sound fun.
Yeah, one of the interviewers was interviewing Lemmy Kilmister, and he was talking about weighing out the Beatles and the Stones. And he's like, fucking Stones are garbage. He's like, the Beatles came from Liverpool, poor kids, hardworking, worked their way up. He goes, the Stones are a bunch of fucking college kids. He's like, I know them all. He's like, you're not fooling nobody.
That's how, but I mean, Lemmy's such his own. I mean, that dude died at.
I almost drank my microphone.
How old was Lemmy when he died? 70 something?
72.
72, 73?
Wow. 71.
That dude was still like smoking meth and like that dude did not give
But the one thing about him
He wasn't
is
a quitter.
he owned it.
was
He
not a
owned
quitter.
all of it. He owned it all. He never went like, oh, I just gonna have to get. He's crying on his pillow. He's like, nope, fuck it. It's what I want to do. It's what I'm doing.
Yep.
I'm doing it.
Yep.
But he was a very good philosopher.
He was
because
not trying to live to
he had a
90.
he had a
That was
lot
not
of
his
he had a
intention.
He was
life
fucking living though.
he had a lot of life experience
He got
philosophy.
all of it. Yeah.
Hey man, you
he
lived-
wasted no years. He got
him and
everything
Ozzy
out of
Osbourne.
every year.
Him and Ozzy Osbourne are both perfect examples. You abuse yourself that hard and still make it to your 70s. I think you did pretty fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
I think the doctors might have to look
Neither
into this shit
one
a
of
little
those
bit.
guys should be alive. Right. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I
Imagine
think
if they didn't do that shit.
They probably would have been dead at 40.
Yeah.
probably. Well, that's how it goes, right? You got somebody who smokes 3 packs a day and
Okay.
drinks, and they live to 100, and then somebody who
But-
doesn't do any of that dies at 50.
Maybe this gets a little deeper. How does that reflect your outlook on life, right? Maybe your outlook on life has total control over what you're going to become and how long you're going to live. If these guys were like, fuck it, I'm positive, I'm happy, I'm doing drugs, I'm partying, fucking almost way past the fucking median living age. Well, 82.
I
but
do
Jesus
think
Christ.
ultimately it
So
does catch up
maybe
with you,
their attitude is like, fuck yeah, they're very positive. They're very like, and Ozzy Osbourne's always been very like positive, even though he's like snorting ants off the fucking concrete. He's positive about it, right? Lemmy Kilmister,
Oh, that's great.
I mean,
go
yeah.
look
Thanks for
up.
that image. That was awesome.
Go look up quotes from Lemmy Kilmister. The guy's a philosopher only because of his
yeah.
life experience, right?
Yeah.
He's been through so much shit. He can give that wisdom, but it's because he just kept that positive fucking outlook.
Yeah.
Maybe that has more to do with anything than eating a fucking cheeseburger. Maybe it's like, fuck it. I just got to be positive and good and just live life and enjoy it because
I
this
mean,
is all we
there's
got.
something to be said for that, right? Like you're just doing your thing and enjoying it, and yeah, I mean
there's limits. But
I think there's
still.
got to be for me, like there's a balance, right? But I also, you see people that they're so overly concerned with their health or whatever, and they don't enjoy life, right? All they're doing is just existing and trying to exist longer.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to exist longer if I'm not going to enjoy the time.
Man, I'm not going to lie
Right.
to you guys. Dealing with like parents and stuff and what they're going, as they get older, and other people's parents and the shit they
Right.
go through. I'm like, I don't want to live that. I don't want to live that. I don't want to live fucking like memory loss and incontinence and fucking. None of it. I don't
You're
want
basically
any
doing
of it.
that now.
Right.
Yeah,
I would rather be fucking dead.
I'm going through that with my wife's aunt.
It's just
She actually died.
right.
Yeah, she flatlined, but they brought her back.
Oh,
And
it's
we all thought that she was going to be dying.
anti-6.
And like, man, she's like doing great.
Wait a minute, she's still going?
Yeah.
Because I remember that was like a month ago. You're
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, fuck, I think this is it, guys.
they're
you
calling
know?
in hospice.
Yeah. And
Wow.
She's like, fuck that. I read fucking Lemmy's book.
then she might even go back home now.
No way.
Yeah,
seriously?
she's in a
Smoke a
nursing
doob.
home, but they're really working on.
She goes from fucking
physical
we're bringing in
therapy.
hospice to she's like, can I get home by fucking Labor Day? That would be great.
Yeah,
Or
so-
Memorial Day. That's amazing. That is
Fucking
wow.
man.
But okay, here's something funny too, though. I used to work at a nursing home.
Oh, that wasn't funny.
That was pretty funny.
Anyway,
Anti-6.
I love you, Jim.
Anyway, I used to work at a nursing home, and it kind of would be fun to be that old sometimes. Because we had this one dude. He couldn't talk because he had a stroke, but he could still walk and shit.
I'm not sure I want to know where this
His name is Norbert, by the way.
Even better.
Yeah, it's great.
You gotta have fun.
It
if
was
your fucking name
so
is Norbert.
Muscle
fucking
arm
funny,
paper
dude.
boy.
He would come down, and they had a cafeteria. Well, look at you, Chris.
Got muscle arm paper boy.
Over here, Chris. But then this fucker, every fucking day after lunch, he would walk out and come right by, the door to leave, and we'd all be standing there waiting to go clean up or whatever, And he'd get up there in front of us, and then he'd shake his leg, and a fucking little turd would fall out. And he would just be like, and just keep on walking. It was the funniest, greatest
I love
shit
that
ever,
shit.
man.
I
would totally.
if I
do
had
that.
to clean that up, I would not think that was funny.
I would
at
punch
all.
Norbert
Oh yeah,
right
none
in
of
his
us would.
fucking
We're
dick.
like, nursing staff, you got to come take care of this. We ain't
Oh,
touching.
you're like on the food service staff.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what?
we don't want you touching
Actually,
poop.
if I was on the food service staff, I'd be with the nurse. I'm like, you know what? This guy's getting nothing but straight fucking fiber. He's going to shit a goddamn Lincoln log. That's all he's
already
getting.
did?
Yeah, you're going to clean it up like with a set of tongs.
Tom Segura does a great bit about getting old. He's like, I don't want to be super old. He's like, because I got friends that say, I want to live till I'm 100. And he's like, really? Have you seen 80? He's like, my dad's got a friend that's 80 and he looks like a fucking gremlin. He
Ain't no
goes,
fucking
he
way.
quit taking his heart medicine and everything because he is over it. I'm like, why'd you quit doing that? He's like, I don't want to be here.
I'm gonna get to a certain age where shit starts to really decline. I'm gonna buy a goddamn fucking old chopper Harley. I'm gonna get a coke habit, fucking heroin. I'm just going. I'm like, what are you doing?
Gotta have goals.
Fuck it.
Gotta have goals, I guess.
Problem is, I would do that thinking I'm gonna die soon, and then I'd probably live till I'm
you
fucking
just
100.
Suffer. You'll just suffer forever.
The one of the things that was always like kept me going, it still keeps me going, is we'd go to these motorcycle rallies we'd ride, and it never failed. There would be this fucking dude who ride in on this old beat the fuck up chopper, rode 2,000 miles, fucking 70 years old, and he'd get up on fucking party for 3 days and get back on it and ride wherever the fuck he came from.
Yep.
I'm like, holy fuck! If that guy can do it, I can do it.
No, you can't.
Oh
Fuck,
yeah,
I want to get a bike again so
I'm doing
fucking
it.
bad.
You gotta quit having traffic cones in your
I'm gonna
house.
have to buy new bikes, but I don't have any of them anymore.
But there you go. Here's talking about spending money on music equipment. I sold my bike because I wanted to get a bigger one. I had a 650, and I wanted 1,100, 1,500 something. So I had, I sold it for
1102.
$1,200. It would have been a good down payment, right? And then I went and bought an electric drum kit.
It's all right, man. Your passion is spread out.
Yeah.
It's not like you gave it up for drugs and didn't remember it. You bought drums.
You know how many drum sets I bought
Through drugs?
right
Yeah, me
after
too.
I sold a set of, I very specifically remember selling drums. I was kind of hard up for money, so I sold my drums. And 3 days later, Ty calls me, hey man, I need you to join my band. Fuck. So
See,
go
I
buy
never
another
could do
drum
that.
set. Yeah.
Because I always had cheap fucking garbage. I never could resell it and buy something else. If
Yeah.
I sold it, it was less than I bought it for. I'd never be able to get anything else.
I keep talking to my wife about selling mine, and I just
Shut the fuck up.
I can't.
Why?
I can't. I
you
don't
got
know.
bills to pay?
No, but I just
Well, then shut the fuck up.
I don't know. They're
God
just taking
damn.
up space and they don't get used.
You're
and
so
I'm just
fucking
like,
It
God.
kills me when you have musicians and then they just
I just
stop.
well, but I
I
can't
still got
do
my
it.
shit.
I
Even
can't
though I'm
do
not
it.
playing, I still have it.
I can't do it.
Okay, I dig
Actually,
that.
my son's got that 215 cab. That motherfucker will get muscles. He starts playing that bitch.
Yeah.
Holding it around that GK. But fuck.
God.
How many drum sets have you had?
Oh,
600.
Fuck.
Because
Yeah.
he's dumb.
Yeah, what he said.
I've had 6.
The one I have now is the longest one I've ever had, and I've had it since 2002.
I've had 3, and my daughter's got all of them.
And I've had jeez, I don't know. I've had so many. I bought a 13-piece one once at Griggs Music.
Whoa. Oh, yeah, that's where you were in the song. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
hit
yeah.
every motherfucking one.
This is a
was
funeral,
so bad.
Larry.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah, bro. That's
Can you
awesome.
play something sort of low?
You got
Yeah.
a picture of that?
Yeah, I've got 3 floor
Maybe
toms.
somewhere.
I
I
can
don't
play
know.
low.
Yeah.
It'd be a long
How many
time.
have you had at one time?
Larry Pert.
I had 3 at one time only because I had that was when I was playing a lot, and I had one that just stayed in the cases. It was packed up,
Ready to
ready to
move.
go to the gig, and then I had one that I had one in a rehearsal space that we had, and then I had another one that I let another kid use in a different rehearsal space. But so I had 3 at the most I ever had at one time, but I ended up selling both those to that same kid, actually. So he ended up with 2, and I had 1.
We need to start doing these more often again because this is an extremely boring podcast.
Yeah, it's fucking lame.
We're
all
catching
out
up.
of practice.
We're catching up. So everybody's going to listen to this and go, it's just you
this
guys
was the best thing we've ever done.
And
okay.
man, I fucking do it again. I'm just watching you guys and listening. Like this fucking podcast is
Well,
awesome.
it's
I'm glad I watched
It's
this
because we're
one.
so delightful.
all this fucking shit got started because we were just hanging out shooting the shit. Yeah, no,
You go
easy.
first. I
I'm
want to
easy.
see how it goes for you, and then I'll decide.
Well, it's loose and sloppy, but I get it.
Well, you had a fucking traffic cone in there, which is actually what they called Jim back in the day. That was his
Traffic
nickname,
cone.
traffic cone.
El Traffic Cono.
They didn't mind the shape, but the color orange was weird.
Fuck,
they
I'd be
thought.
like, is it in? I don't feel nothing.
I have to ask that every time. Sometimes my wife is like, "Is it in?" I'm like,
like-
I'm done and having a sandwich. It's
It's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
Yeah, I put the meat back in the drawer in this fridge. It's in. It's closed.
What do you mean in? I've been in, done, took a shower, having a sandwich right now.
I don't know.
Best 30 seconds I heard of life, including cleanup. Anyway,
It's a great thing that there's more to a relationship than sex.
good thing.
You'd be fucked.
Good thing.
I rip you, but I've never had sex with you, so I really can't do it. I can give you a hard time, but maybe
You
you're
could probably
amazing.
imagine it.
Maybe you're pretty
Wait,
amazing.
would you like
I
to
don't
take a minute to imagine it? Should we
You're-
just be quiet while you
know.
imagine?
No,
And I did. It's in my head now. Thanks. You son of a bitches.
I don't need to be doing this on camera or with
Well,
audio.
it's in my head, so thanks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're never getting hard again.
I'm hard now.
Okay. All right, we got to wrap this up then. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, you see, even sounded Irish. We're gonna wrap it up.
Let's
then.
wrap it up.
Wrap
Well,
it up.
let's, we should probably start wrapping it up, but I want to talk about our stuff. But before we do that, though, just everybody, welcome. Like I said, we're starting, this is episode 1 of season 2. We're going to have the video going. We got all kinds of stuff. Our man Jim here, like, I don't know, he went out and got lights and cameras and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what we're
Let
doing
us
here.
know. Get on
We're gonna
Facebook. Let
start-
us know what you think
We're
of
going to start our own news
the
program.
videos and how things are looking. And
Well,
again,
not us personally. I don't want to know anybody
That's
what
all right.
they think
Tell
of
us.
how I
check
look.
us
I don't
out
give a
on,
fuck.
on
I already know.
Facebook.
I've looked this way this long. It's
We'll
not going
have
to
all
change.
the links for everything on there. Don't
What were
forget
the-
to subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And I looked on iHeartRadio today. I didn't see the podcast.
Oh,
on there.
Lord have mercy.
That would be because I've not done that. I will do that. I
I
promise.
thought you said you did that.
Yeah,
I
you
was waiting on
lying
their. I was waiting on their
son of a
approval,
bitch.
and I've never
God damn
gone
it.
back for it. to be honest with you,
There's like 25 Gen Xers that are just not going to really give a shit
that's true.
because they didn't give a shit before. They stumbled across it
No,
on
but
accident.
Jim's wife likes to listen to iHeart, so we can do that. We can get that on there for her.
Spotify's free. You know
She
that.
puts
My-
up with
my
his dumb
mother-in-law.
shit, so we got to do something nice for her.
All right.
iHeart's free too, just like your mom.
Oh boy,
Anyways, one of the things we like to talk
Barrett's
about.
mom likes Kiss.
That's because they're talented.
We just high fived on camera.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
You guys high five in the bedroom. I don't understand why it's any different.
It's like tag team. We high five and then we switch.
You know, it's
I usually just swing my
one
nutsack
becomes the
around,
bottom.
high five him with it.
One's bottom, one's top. Oh, I fucking hate
Well,
you
anyway,
guys.
we always at the end of our podcast, if you've been listening at all, we talk about some serious shit. We goof off and are funny, but mental health in this country or in the world really is it's tough, and sometimes life sucks and sometimes life kicks you in the ass. But we don't want anybody to have to suffer with that with depression or any of those things, and certainly not get to the point of suicide or anything like that. And so we have decided a while back, Barrett and I and Jim here, that we want to at least talk about the things that you can do to look for some help. So Barrett, take it away.
I'd like to say though, I think part of the reason I do this with you guys is because it's like therapeutic, right? I always tell like my kids, it's always good to talk about stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing, man. We're talking.
Well,
So talk to people, man. You'd just be surprised how good you can make someone feel just by letting them.
and just look out for each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even, and I tell my kids
It
in
doesn't
school,
cost anything to be kind.
it's if you'll notice when somebody's out of place, right? And you're in grade school, or not grade school, you're in junior high and high school. Man, just all you got to do is say, "You okay, man?" Just that's all you need. Sometimes that's all people need. And people and young kids, it's hard for them to do it because they don't know how to express their feelings. But sometimes just say it. Yeah. Say, "You all right? You good?" Sometimes that's a check for somebody to go, "Hey, at least somebody's paying attention."
Yeah.
And we get as adults, we do the same thing. We get wrapped up in our bullshit.
We do that for each other. I'll send you a text sometime.
Everybody
hey, man,
just needs to check on everybody.
If I haven't talked to you for a while, I'll be like, "Hey, man, you doing all right? What's going on? You good?"
Yeah, the people in those situations won't tell anybody, don't say anything to anybody, look normal, cover it up, fake smiles. They live their life.
Well, how many times have we heard those newscasts, right? They interview the neighbors, like, always seemed like a happy kid. He was always Most of the time when people get in these situations, they are caring people and they don't want to trouble anybody else, right? So you have to pay attention. Anyways, we're going to get into this, and we're going to try to get some more on here. We've used these same numbers, and there's more. There's way more. There's more help out there. This is just what I had on hand. So if you're in an emergency situation, call 988. They'll get somebody online. You may get a message at first. I'm going to repeat this every single time because when you're in a desperate situation, you may hear a message and be like, fuck it. Well, don't say fuck it, because what they're trying to do is get you to somebody close to your situation. Not necessarily close to you, not the guy down the street, but they're trying to get to somebody who can relate to what you've got going on. They're going to funnel you down to the expert for you.
Yeah, they're going to help you out. So you can call 988. And I think, as far as I know, they do the same thing with text, 741-741. Your first initial text is going to try to get somebody that can help you in your situation. Because, honestly, the situation for a 16-year-old girl is not going to be the same situation for a 50-year-old man. They're going to try to get you to somebody that can help your situation. You guys are worlds apart. 16-year-old girl, 50-year-old man, you're worlds apart. Oh, yeah. But your situation is still serious. So they're going to try to get you in line with somebody that can help you with your situation. It's very important. I'm just going to throw a couple of these out here. And I always bring this one up with Larry. Sam, they call it SAMHSA. SAMHSA is a substance abuse treatment, because sometimes when we go through hard times, we turn to drugs or alcohol or whatever it is to cover.
Or in my case, the hard times are brought along.
There it is. There. Okay, we just lost it, but it's all right. So
because of it,
in the SAMHSA, it's 1-800-662-HELP. HELP is 4357. 1-800-662-HELP. One of the other ones that it kind of hits home is the Trevor Lifeline. It's for LGBT youth. You guys, a lot of times you don't feel like you've got anywhere to reach or anywhere to call. If you're struggling, call 1-866-488-7386. I'm not going to name them all, but every time we come in here, we're going to try to address something or somebody because it's important.
We do all have them.
Have been in tough situations, so.
Yeah, thank you. We do have them on the Facebook page.
Yep.
And we will add more as we get more to do that, because it's just really important.
One thing I wanted to add to this that I don't have the numbers for right now, and I apologize, we'll get them out here, is I have a lot of friends that are vets. Yep. There's a vet crisis lines. There's a lot of them because of what you guys go through and what you've been through.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to get that added to this list, and we'll get them up on there too. Listen, in anything, get a hold of us. You can't maybe not call direct yet. We don't have our phone system set up, but leave a message.
It's 1-800-EAT-SHIT, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's your phone number. You're going to call his wife.
That's my personal phone number.
So anyways, it's very important that we all take care of each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you fuckers back. It's been a long
I've missed you guys,
time off, but we'll get you going again, and hopefully everybody digs it.
This has been good.
We're gonna have the videos going and all that fun shit, and check it out. Check out the Facebook page, Dudes Using Minimal Brains, the D.U.M.B podcast, and then all the podcast platforms except for iHeart. I'm sorry, Jim's wife. I'll work on it.
It's more my mother-in-law, I think.
Oh, is your mother? Okay. Well, at any rate, Jim's wife and mother-in-law, I will do it. Jim did not fail you. Larry failed you. I'm trying to help you out there. But anyway, Spotify, Apple, Google, what's the one I'm missing? Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, so that's what all for now. I'll get it on iHeart too. But spread the word, help us, and again, send us a message through the Facebook page or something if you're something you want to hear us talk about, or put our dumb spin on something. Let us know, and we'll do that. But take care of yourselves, and I love you, brothers. And I will we'll talk at you next time.
Kiss does not suck.
Kiss sucks.
Kiss does not suck.
Kiss rules.
Whoa. I guess I'm out.